Is Kansas City about to lose its Amtrak rail service to St. Louis? The twice-a-day train is in jeopardy, according to a story this week in the Kansas City Star. The issue? Taxpayers spend $1.5 billion a year to subsidize passenger train travel, and the federal government, wary of a four-decade effort to keep the company afloat, wants to move more of Amtrak's costs onto states and riders, and at a cost of $9,600 per ride to operate the train. Missouri taxpayers would be on the hook for $8.5 million a year. Dave Helling, simply the state wouldn't have the money to pay for all of that?
The state lug is about $8.5 million a year, but since 2010, the state has shorted Amtrak by several $100,000, and the arrearage is now at about $2.5 million. And for this time, Amtrak has carried the state, but they're running a little bit out of patience because they need the 8.5 plus the arrearage, and so lawmakers actually bumped it to $8.9 million this year to try and whittle that away a little bit. But that sort of short-term problem is locked in with this long-term problem, which is the federal government is saying, look, the states have to pick up more of this cost for things like the Missouri River Runner, and so the state of Missouri is going to have to really decide. I think the headline was a little aggressive. It isn't in immediate jeopardy, but there are decisions that need to be made about how much taxpayers should kick in for rail service between Kansas City and St. Louis.
Well, tough choices do have to be made, and
right.
I was thinking, well, is it just a few people who go on this service? I was surprised. 200,000
right.
people a year are boarding this train to St. Louis every year. So this is not just a handful of folks who enjoy this little train service to St. Louis every year, Mary.
No, not at all. Actually, I spoke with a lobbyist recently who lives in the River Market area and loves taking it. I mean, it works for her. She just has to readjust some of her meeting times, but she said that it works perfectly for her. But there's not enough of that. That's what part of the argument is. Too much of it is just kind of a touristy. You almost wonder if they need a whole media campaign, which I know they've done, you know, PR and stuff, because you know, there's this romance with rail service. My mother was the last of the Harvey girls. You know, it's like I love this stuff, but I don't take the train because it's not efficient enough for me in terms of the time. You know, I can zip down to Jeff City or across the state in my car.
But we'd all love all of these services, but not everything is being paid for by itself. And we say that about the Postal Service, or and obviously with Amtrak, it is being hugely subsidized, Sam.
Yeah, well, there's very few rail operations in the world that don't get some government subsidy. And for Amtrak, it does make a profit between Washington and Boston. It always has, but those trains run hourly. You really can set schedules by it. For these other trains, though, I think that it's going to be a perennial money loser, but 200,000 people a year is still quite a bit of passengers that you keep off roads, you cut down on pollution, and so there are some advantages to that.
The thing to keep in mind, though, that most of those 200,000 people are traveling for leisure. It's not a business proposition. I don't need to get to St. Louis for a job or whatever. It's people who enjoy the train for its romance or whatever. Well, great. $8.5 million a year is a lot of money to sort of subsidize that leisure travel, and that's the question that lawmakers
But this has been
facing.
under threat before, though,
yes.
Dave. Is there anything to suggest that this is at a more critical juncture right now?
Only because the price tag is going up, but it does enjoy bipartisan support in Jefferson City, surprisingly. Even Republicans who tend to be conservative about fiscal issues do see some value in the Missouri River Runner. So again, it's not an immediate jeopardy, but there are some important questions the state now faces.